Hi, I'm Chef Clint Jolly with Great Time Catering. So I got started, I was pretty much born into the business. My family, I'm a fourth generation butcher just here in Reno, Nevada. 5 years old probably, started playing around in the butcher shop. I would say learning, but I think it was more playing back then. But yeah, I learned how to cut meat. When I was about 12, 13 years old, I started getting more into the cooked food side. I've spent about 30 years of my life so far in the kitchen, or around food, I should say, which has really given me a really interesting perspective. And I've grown to a point where I love telling the story through food, because I think that is the most important, since people have gathered around the dinner table since the dawn of man, telling those stories, sharing their day. I think that's a really important element that I want to portray through our cuisine. And it's taken me some really fun, interesting places. Lately I've won a version of the Chopped Impossible restaurant show on Food Network. Got named to be one of the best chefs of America a couple of years ago. A lot of local awards, and it's really been fun. One of the funnest things when a client comes to us and they have an idea for a party, whether it's a wedding or a fundraiser or a company party, is we sit down and start the menu design process and the event planning process. And we really try to figure out the story that they want to convey and the emotions and the attitude that they want guests to leave with. And we take a lot of those like non-food related things into consideration when we design a menu, so that we can present food that tells that story for them. If it's a wedding, the food is going to represent where they met, where they're going on their honeymoon, where they vacation, those sort of things. I think that's the most creative part of our job. For our tasting, we will have a menu designed at that point. We'll invite clients in and we do it in the kitchen. It's really casual and informal. We'll go through and we'll prepare everything just as it would be at the event, and we'll taste it. And that's where we kind of fine-tune things. Our style might not be exactly perfect to their palate, so we want to get that feedback. The other thing we can focus on in tastings is if they aren't exactly sure between, menu 1, menu 2, or this style of presentation versus another. So we'll do, 2 menus side by side. My biggest passion and what really keeps the fire burning is seeing the enlightenment in people when I can educate them a little bit, show them a new ingredient, a new flavor, new presentation, and just kind of open their mind a little bit more to what the world of food can deliver. One of the best benefits I've had through Great Time Catering over the last 6 years is watching the joy on customers' face when they're eating our food. And even more so than that, seeing clients come back a year or 2 or 5 years later and they come tell us, you know what, 5 years ago you served this dish and it was so amazing, and they still remember it. That to me just proves that we're doing what we need to do.